Hello and welcome to the first of my new YouTube series on my football views. As you can tell by the title, this first episode is based on Premier League side Stoke City and can they replace Steven and ZONZI? Now the basis for this argument that I got today came from I was watching Luton against Stoke in the Capital One Cup on Tuesday. Now I won't say I purely based this idea on watching that match, but it kind of reinforced what I already thought. Can Stoke replace him? And I think they need to. Steven and ZONZI was a great player for Stoke last year. Perhaps one that went under the radar with the standout performances of Bojan and Mame Diouf and obviously Ryan Shawcross. But I think he was just as important as any of those players. And obviously Sevilla clearly thought so, considering that they forked out the money to buy him. And I look at Stoke's midfield now. They have Glenn Whelan, who undoubtedly works very hard, but for me isn't top quality. He's a solid player, but nothing much more than that. Charlie Adam, again, not really that kind of mould of player. And obviously they've signed Marco van Ginkel on loan from Chelsea, but again, very technically gifted player, that's for sure, but he's not a replacement for Nzonzi. And you look at that midfield and you think they need an Nzonzi type player in there to fill the hole that's kind of been left by that departure. And now I'm not saying this is going to ruin Stoke's season. For me, I personally think they'll still finish around between 9th and 11th, I'd say, at the moment, with the current squad they have. Obviously they've brought very well in forward positions with a club record signing Shaqiri, Afellay and Joselu, but you know, there's not really been much reinforcing in the centre of the park apart from Van Ginkel, and I don't think it's enough. I really don't. Steve Sidwell, for me, he's not even an option to consider. I don't think he's Premier League standard anymore. You know, he was probably a standout player in a poor Fulham side a few years ago, but he's not Premier League standard anymore. I think though, if they could find a way to replace Nzonzi, I think Stoke could qualify for the Europa League or contend to qualify in the Europa League this year. I genuinely think their squad is that good, and it's just that one player for me, one position, that I think is letting them down at the moment. Obviously they've yet to pick up a win this season in the Premier League. Obviously, as you can see in the background there, I've got a Stoke against West Brom game on Legendary with all the current transfers on. But yeah, I think they could pick up their first win tomorrow. I'm not sure if they will. I don't think they could. Obviously West Brom, Tony Pulis, hard side to break down. Mark Hughes has taken Stoke past that level that Tony Pulis sort of kept them at for several seasons, and obviously he's changed the brand of football. It's no longer the Stoke long ball tactics. It's a lot different now, and I think that's very good for them. It's very good for the fans, who I think were getting a bit, I won't say bored of Tony Pulis' way of playing, but I think it was almost at a standstill. But yeah, back to the original point, they need to replace Steven Nzonzi. He was such an influential player for them. I read a stat somewhere saying that he covered more yards per game than any other player in the Premier League, and it doesn't surprise me. He was just that kind of player, you know, that he'd work his socks off for a team and he could drive them forward. You know, which is, I think you need a player like that when you're under pressure, someone who can drive you forward, even if it's just past the halfway line, just to relieve the pressure sometimes. And he played a big part in forward moves too. But yeah, that is the end of my first, in my opinion, sort of series, my football views. Obviously I'm going to have an F1 video coming on Sunday with a current F1 topic that's very high on the agenda. Feel free to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I will be off now. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope, obviously, if you disagreed with me, feel free to comment below. But that is it for me today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.